Welcome back to the Hockey Show, and today I'm talking about the Edmonton Oilers and what they should be doing at this upcoming NHL trade deadline. So, right now they've got 72 points in the NHL. They're ninth in the NHL standings as well as second in the Pacific Division. They've been kind of out of the top three for a while now, trying to get their way up through the wild card, but they've jumped up out of nowhere, knocking out the Seattle Kraken now, and they've placed themselves right behind the Vegas Golden Knights for second in the Pacific, mainly caused by the greatest hockey player in the world, and I don't care who you are, Connor McDavid is the best in the world. You can say whatever you want about Nathan MacKinnon or Cale Makar. Makar's the best defenseman, but nobody beats Connor McDavid. I'm just saying it. I'm planting my stake in the ground. You're welcome. So anyways, the Edmonton Oilers doing pretty good. So with McDavid and Draisaitl, the main problem with the Oilers, we've been always saying for the last so many years until last year when they finally made the playoffs and made a pretty deep run at it, was that they don't have any depth. The whole team is just McDavid and Draisaitl. That's it. Maybe Nugent Hopkins would have a good season. Maybe Kyler Yamamoto would have a good season. But it was just those two guys. There was no one else doing anything on this team for the most part. And they finally added some pieces, bringing on Kane. Yamamoto showed up. I mean, they just started putting a good team actually together with Hyman now, right? So the team's finally actually coming together offensively, and it shows as they lead the NHL with goals with 225 goals. That's above everybody, above the Bruins, above the Avalanche, above Florida, above the Rangers. Every team, they're number one in the NHL when it comes to offensive production with 225, mainly because of McDavid's incredible season, already at 109 points this year. Holy crap. So, offensively, they're doing fine, right? So, adding offense, I mean, of course, anyone could say add Timo Meier to this team. Yes, they'd be better, but that doesn't seem to be their issue. They don't need to add offense, right? What they need is defense. They are second most in the NHL for playoff teams when it comes to goals against. So they're at 194. When I say second most amongst playoff teams, the LA Kings are in front of them, I think, with 200. And then I guess you want to count Florida. They're past them as well, but Florida's kind of tied and might not make it into the playoffs. But for the teams most likely making the playoffs, they're second only behind the team right below them as well in the standings is the LA Kings. So obviously defense is the issue with this team. So who are the names out there that they could probably pick up? So number one, I think the big one connected with the Oilers is Vladislav Gavrikov. Now, Gavrikov is apparently touted as an amazing defensive defenseman, which I'm sure he is. Obviously, he doesn't make any offensive production much. He's only got 10 points this season, but he's a -8, which to me, I know that's like pretty decent, I guess, for being on one of the at least top 3 worst teams in the NHL this year. And it just doesn't do anything for me. He's got no offensive production, and he's not very good plus-minus wise. But the main selling point, I think, for him is his low cap hit at $2.8 million. The Oilers don't have much. I mean, they have literally zero cap space at all. But they could move out a guy like Puljujarvi, which we know they want to get rid of, and easily make a 1-for-1 swap with a draft pick. But I hear the asking price for Gavrikov is a pretty high draft pick, first-round pick. And for me, personally, if I was running an NHL team, which obviously I'm not, I mean, what say do I have? But I don't think Gavrikov is especially worth a first-round pick. Not that even the Oilers really need theirs this year, but I would rather save my pick and try to go out for a prospect than bring in Gavrikov as a rental. I just don't think that would be worth it for a first-round pick. And I also think there are way better options defensively and offensively for defensemen on the market. And I think Jake McCabe would be an amazing pickup for the Edmonton Oilers. And I don't think a lot of people are talking about him, but Jake McCabe, he's got a little bit of a higher cap hit with $4 million, but he makes more production. He's only got, 9 more points offensively, but he's on Chicago, 19 points for a defenseman. That isn't too bad, and he's a +6, which is the main thing. So on the ice, he's the only defenseman on Chicago with a plus. He's only the one in the positive. So that's huge, I think, for a guy like McCabe on an embarrassingly bad team like Chicago. So if the Oilers are looking for a solid defenseman in the back, just all around solid. Maybe he doesn't make a ton of points defensively, but they don't really need that. It's not like they're getting it with, I mean, they're already getting that from their already existing defensemen. They don't need that from McCabe. So I think moving in, I would also rather, if you're going to give up a first-round pick, I would much rather give that between Gavrikov and McCabe to Jake McCabe, who all around seems to be better in my eyes. So $4 million, and you could also easily make swap for Puljujarvi, dump his cap, Chicago retain $1 million, easily make that trade, first-round pick for him. I think that makes 100% makes sense in my eyes. So moving on down below is kind of the more questionable ones. It's like these are the big ones, right? That if these happen, these would be the big ones. But the first two, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Jacob Chychrun, of course, one of the most touted potential tradable guys. He's gonna get traded. But does the Oilers have do they have what it takes to get him? So Jacob Chychrun, he's got a $4.6 million left, and it's till 2025. So the Oilers would have to actually make room for the future of this team, unlike the other guys on the board. So Chychrun, that is one thing against him, is that he's not just a rental. He's going to be a part of this team, which I do think the Oilers would greatly benefit from having a guy like Jacob Chychrun on this team, as well as he offensively produces with 28 points. Add him along with Darnell Nurse and Tyson Barrie back there. He's going to produce offensively as well, and he's a +8 on the Coyotes. So he's got he's McCabe, but even better, and we already know that. Jacob Chychrun, amazing defenseman. I've always said that I think he might be the best defenseman in the NHL that is unranked. He's the most underrated defenseman. In the year the NHL shut down, or was it the bubble year, whatever year it was, he led the NHL's defensemen with goals. So he can produce offensively. He's solid defensively. Bring him onto the team like the Oilers, and I think it's a match made in heaven. He's the best of both worlds. Well, not the best of both worlds, but he's good in both worlds. And putting him on a team like the Oilers, which already have pretty decent defense in my eyes. I mean, they have standouts like Darnell Nurse and Tyson Barrie, but I feel like they're more offensive. I don't even know. But Chychrun would fit perfectly on this team. And then two guys that I don't hear a lot of talk about, but I think would be a good pick for the Oilers is Mattias Ekholm. When you want to talk defensively, I think Ekholm going on this team and setting him on the penalty kill or any last few minutes to just waste time and kill the other team's time and the other guys on the ice. I think the Predators have some pretty good options. I don't know if Ryan McDonagh would be movable or if a team would want to pick him up. He just finally scored his first goal of the season 2 weeks ago or so. So I don't know if McDonagh would be movable. If he was, I would say go for him, but I'm not entirely sure if that's even a thing that could happen. Anything can happen. But I know Mattias Ekholm probably is on his way out of Nashville, and I think Ekholm would be a good pick for the Oilers. I know I keep saying that, but how else am I going to word it? Ekholm defensively would be a great move for the Oilers to shut down other teams. As well, and this is an offensive pick, is Torrey Krug. So Torrey Krug, one of the Blues are obviously selling out their team, trying to bring in everything they can. And I think Torrey Krug would be a great pick for the Oilers, as they have draft picks to give to the Blues. And the Oilers, if they could pad in that offense as well, because not only do they need defense, but I also think the best defense is a great offense. Put Torrey Krug on the ice. If he gets the puck, he's going to skate that thing all the way down or at least get a good pass out of the zone. He's going to easily just turn down chances for the Oilers. And he can get the puck, send it straight up to McDavid, and they're out of there. And they could have Darnell Nurse, they could have Tyson Barrie, and then Torrey Krug. 3 lines of defense where they got a guy on the that can easily get the puck out of their zone. So I think he'd be a smart pickup for the Oilers. But I would also say that I would personally go out for a goaltender if I were the Oilers. I don't believe in Stuart Skinner and Jack Campbell to win them a Stanley Cup. But I also don't know what goalie they could go out there and pick up. Of a Darcy Kemper maybe, but I just don't know if they would. I don't think the Oilers fans would be very happy if they did that. So But tell me what you think down below. I'm an idiot, I know. So tell me how stupid I am down below in the comments section. And please feel free to pick up your free subscription down below. We're on the road to 100 at 93 right now. We're almost there. So get me to 100, please, if you'd be kind enough to. And leave a like, not a dislike, or go down to the comments section down below and tell me how stupid I am for everything I've thought today. And until next time, too sweet, I hope you're having an amazing day, and ta-ta for now.